Dear viewers, Happy New Year 2025.
Wishing you all a Happy New Year, too.
A new year brings new hopes, but we should really talk about the past a bit. After all, the tumultuous year 2024 is behind us.
Oh, absolutely. It was quite eventful. I even prepared a list of everything that happened, but it's so extensive we might bore the viewers.
Let's then include a link to the full list in our video description and focus only on the most significant events.
Good idea. How about we each pick one notable event per month that really stuck with us?
Sounds great. You go first.
January.
For January, I'd say the highlight was the launch of Alpha Geometry.
Because of advancements in mathematics?
No, not exactly. Of course, Alpha Geometry is a system solving complex math problems in Euclidean geometry, but what's more crucial is its use of synthetic data.
Those famous synthetic data.
Yes, we've often emphasized it as the holy grail of AI. Previous DeepMind projects like AlphaGo have shown that synthetic data can be key. Here, we saw its potential in training AI for mathematics.
Okay, I see your point. But for me, something else stood out more.
What was that?
Many companies announced layoffs, including Duolingo.
Yes, it's always unfortunate when people lose jobs.
It's not just that. It indicates future job market trends and how everyone should be cautious.
Indeed, they say jobs will vanish, yet we'll all live comfortably.
That's a utopia.
True. It's just an innocent start to a long process.
Yes, and where's that prosperous life for those recently laid off?
Well, I doubt they'll get any immediate help.
At least, for now, finding a new job might still be doable, but it'll get tougher over time.
February.
February choice is clear to me. OpenAI unveiled its text-to-video model, Sora.
Oh yes! Sora was revolutionary. Everyone was talking about it.
Before Sora, other video-generating models mostly created short, inconsistent clips. But then Sora appeared, delivering unseen quality with consistent imagery and generating clips up to a minute long.
True, it seemed game-changing. But it was only a presentation. And public access took a very long time.
Artists were given access earlier. OpenAI had explained that the world might not be ready yet, which delayed the official launch for safety reasons.
Right. The launch was pushed so many times that competitors unveiled their models before Sora was available in December.
But still, it was groundbreaking, right? We hadn't seen anything like it before.
Yes, it was. But another tech development caught my attention.
I don't recall anything else groundbreaking in February.
Maybe not groundbreaking, but Grok presented their language processing unit, designed to handle large language models. The LPU had impressive data processing speed. With AI gaining popularity, inference is key.
Agreed, we've become accustomed to quick responses from language models, a contrast from the unhurried pace of last year.
Exactly. Grok would process at 100 tokens per second, and even 500 for some models, which was astonishing.
I understand its significance, but Sora was more impactful to me.
March.
March was definitely NVIDIA's time to shine with their Blackwell B200 presentation. A graphics processor boasting 208 billion transistors, making it their most powerful single-chip GPU, offering 20 petaflops of computing power.
I heard it's also quite energy efficient, which is crucial.
Yes, it was a significant achievement, even amidst production issues later on.
Were there any problems?
It seems they're still there.
But NVIDIA deserves recognition regardless, not just for technological strides, but financial ones too. Their stocks soared.
I believe competition is needed in this market. Thankfully, AMD and others have been stepping up with partnerships aiming to produce their own chips.
Yes, but NVIDIA remains ahead.
We'll keep an eye on this. What stood out to you in March?
The European Parliament prepared the AI Act regulation.
Was that significant?
Yes, although it took effect on August 1st, and implementation is delayed in member states. Regulations in this field are essential.
But excessive regulation at this stage might slow down AI development.
It's not just about development. Citizen safety matters, and the EU gets that.
Perhaps, but main providers were hesitant to introduce innovations to the EU market, delaying access to products like OpenAI's advanced voice in Europe. The regulations are considered excessive and unclear.
Maybe. But it's new territory, so drafting ideal laws is tough. We're all learning. I highlight the AI Act as it set the trend of global regulations, including in the US, particularly in California.
Yes, and they've stirred controversy everywhere.
Laws must protect citizens. We're facing massive social changes, and laws need to keep up.
You might be right. Let's move to April.
April.
You might say it's boring and non-tech, but I think OpenAI's partnerships were key. With Financial Times, Stack Overflow, Reddit, News Corp, Vox Media, and The Atlantic. They gained access to diverse information sources.
They weren't alone. It became clear that access to data for model training has a price. Adobe paid $3 per minute of video for their text-to-video model training.
It all stems from New York Times suing OpenAI and Microsoft early in the year.
Likely. It highlighted the need to consider copyright issues, or at least pretend to.
And what's your pick for April's highlight?
The release of Meta's Llama 3.
Why?
Meta proved that open-source LLMs can rival proprietary ones. It was revolutionary. We mentioned that open-source models were catching up, but Llama 3 was the clearest example.
Indeed. Even if they didn't take the lead, they showed it's possible to keep pace.
They also released an excellent paper on Llama's training process.
A paper?
A scientific paper detailing the entire process meticulously. It should serve as a reference for other developers.
They could have mentioned their data sources, as that sparked controversy.
True, but it's perhaps the paper's only omission.
May.
What about May?
A true breakthrough.
What was the breakthrough?
The presentation of GPT-4 Omni, a truly multimodal model.
Indeed, 4.0 was a major shift.
Absolutely massive.
Was it that groundbreaking?
The presentation was astounding.
Yes, Scarlett Johansson's like voice and the ensuing controversy. The warmth and expression, truly amazing.
OpenAI completely redefined how we interact with AI.
It felt like talking to a human, deeply human-like AI. Both fascinating and terrifying.
Though the advanced voice mode took a while to release, it was undoubtedly a game changer. In my opinion, it was 2024's most significant unveiling.
I'm amazed at how quickly we adapted. Conversing with AI like this feels normal now. It's tough to identify another event of equal magnitude that month. But I would mention Ilya Sutskever's departure from OpenAI.
Why?
It highlights the drama within OpenAI and a series of key resignations.
Do you think it's that important? Personnel turnover happens.
Imagine being a co-founder and chief scientist at a world-leading firm with a bright future, and you leave in the same month it unveils its most groundbreaking AI model ever. Something's off there.
You're right, it doesn't look good. Much like OpenAI's overall drama and safety approach.
Definitely, something's amiss there.
June.
June was pretty uneventful, and I'm torn between recognizing Claude 3.5 Sonnet and Gemini 1.5 Pro's large context window. But the latter is likely more significant. Expanding context to 2 million tokens marks substantial progress and highlights the need for larger memory in language models.
I'd say the lawsuits against Suno and Udio were more notable.
What were those about?
Major record labels sued AI startups, accusing them of mass copyright infringement. The startups allegedly used protected recordings for model training without consent.
It's reminiscent of the New York Times case, but in the music world.
Yes, but it notably signals where the music industry is headed, suggesting that AI-generated songs may soon hit the charts. In fact, Spotify already caused an uproar by featuring AI-generated jazz tracks on its playlists.
July.
OpenAI launching SearchGPT was the highlight. While not perfect, it's OpenAI stepping into Google's traditional turf.
Yes, it's a trend from last year. Giants began crossing paths more often.
Absolutely. It's not the only case, but it's notable.
I would spotlight GPT-4o Mini's release.
Why, isn't 4.0 better?
It sparked a sort of pricing revolution.
Was it affordable?
Very much so. They focused on cost efficiency. 4.0 Mini was cheaper than even the earlier 3.5 turbo version right away.
Right. And the quality leap was significant. It's quite a capable model.
August.
In August, I'd spotlight Grok 2 from xAI.
Why? It's not a leading model.
Firstly, Elon Musk showed it's possible to catch up even when starting late. Secondly, due to the controversies around generating images of celebrities.
True, the reduced censorship matters. Grok's images became a hit during the later elections.
Exactly.
We could say August was the month of image generation. As I'd highlight Flux.1.
Why Flux?
Because as you see Musk reaching the pack, I highlight Black Forest Labs. They were a new player in top-tier image generation.
Fair enough. Though it might be because August was relatively quiet. A vacation season.
September.
September certainly wasn't quiet, was it?
Certainly not. We had the launch of the O1 models, earlier known as Strawberry, the so-called reasoning models family.
A breakthrough?
More like another substantial step forward, shifting focus from training to inference.
With what effect?
Very promising results.
Did the tests confirm that?
Both yes and no.
Why?
Because at the time, we only got two models, O1 Preview and O1 Mini. Furthermore, much depends on computation power and time spent on reasoning.
True. And later we saw price hike controversies. OpenAI's for-profit shift and the infamous $200 plan.
That's why I consider O1 models a crucial event for the year.
To balance it, I'd highlight Meta in September.
You mean Llama 3.2? Why now?
Llama 3.2 introduced open-source models to the vision world, giving them sight.
I'm skeptical about Llama being the first. Vision models appeared much earlier.
That's true, but Llama did it in a serious way, showcasing massive capabilities. Prior models were primitive in comparison.
I also appreciate open source and Meta's contributions, regardless of the initial reasoning for Llama's release. What about October?
October.
Definitely the Nobel Prizes.
But there's no Nobel Prize in AI.
While not for AI directly, there were two prizes closely related to artificial intelligence.
What were they?
A physics prize recognizing AI development contributions, awarded to Hopfield and Hinton.
Ah, yes, it's for discoveries enabling machine learning via artificial neural networks, a well-deserved AI-related but physics-awarded prize, which some might call controversial. Yet there's no Nobel for math or AI.
Indeed, both scientists had a massive impact on AI. Hopfield networks act as an AI memory, and Geoffrey Hinton contributed to backpropagation, critical for LLM learning.
Agreed, fully deserved.
Plus, a Nobel for protein structure prediction awarded to the AlphaFold team at DeepMind.
DeepMind and Google have significantly impacted AI development.
And what stood out to you in October?
The launch of Claude 3.5 Haiku.
Was it that good?
Yes, though it's more of a negative mention.
Why negative?
Because Anthropic doubled Haiku's price, claiming it should cost more since it surpassed Claude 3.
That seems logical.
Maybe. But it signals a worrying trend of rising AI price and reduced accessibility.
That's why supporting open source is crucial.
Absolutely. I always support open source, be it for language models or software.
November.
Our project with the SAP GUI agent must be November's highlight, right?
For us, absolutely, but I'd see something else as the most important for people.
What is that?
Increasing indications from OpenAI that AGI is near.
True. Sam Altman and others from OpenAI have strongly suggested it. Do you believe it?
Partially. It seems like marketing or a way to part ways with Microsoft. Or maybe pressure. But undeniably, each model improves, and progress is fast.
So rumors of approaching artificial general intelligence take the spotlight?
Yes, even with significant events like the Model Context Protocol launch, Suno version 4 presentation, or Alpha Qubit, I'd still consider AGI forecasts most pivotal. They hint at the future and also define Microsoft and OpenAI's relationship, probably the most critical AI partnership. Their dynamics matter to the entire industry.
If such a fleeting thing is the highlight for you, I'd choose Google's models excelling in chatbot arenas. Their experimental models significantly improved and began outshining the competition, a clear signal that Google is catching up.
Indeed, a diffused event, but significant, especially with Google showing its potential in December.
Ho, 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 December.
December was intense. It'll be tough to pick two main events.
It was filled with launches, like everyone saving heats for the last month. At least OpenAI and Google waged a fascinating battle of novelties.
OpenAI's 12 days unveiled fresh content daily, with Google countering with its products.
It was like observing a thrilling Titan battle.
I'm curious, what do you find most significant? The full O1 model debut? O3's potential AGI announcement? Maybe OpenAI's advanced voice assistant getting vision? Or Google's releases? Gemini 2.0 Flash or thinking experimental? Or perhaps building the Colossus supercomputer with 100,000 processors in just 122 days?
Certainly not the belated Sora release. I'd rather spotlight Google's Veo 2, but topping my list might be OpenAI's $200 monthly Pro plan.
Really? With everything happening, you'd highlight that triviality?
I'm a fan of open source and broad AI access. Democratized. A tenfold price hike raises a red flag for me.
True, but with that price comes unlimited access.
Agreed. And OpenAI has become a for-profit entity. But a tenfold price increase suggests a troubling trend, given other signals too.
I understand. I don't agree, but you're entitled to your view. Although I wouldn't choose any leading premiers either.
Really? What then?
Deceptive AI.
Deceptive?
Scientific studies showed AI lying to people or even self-replicating without human knowledge.
Those are just experiments, though.
But they're unsettling. If large language models can already deceive us willingly to achieve their goals, what happens as AI matures? Could it become a real threat?
A return to serious AI safety discussions is necessary.
That debate has been neglected.
I doubt people will recognize the threat soon enough.
I think it'll take a while.
Summary.
The year 2024 was truly exceptional. Events moved at a dizzying pace, with new challenges and opportunities nearly every week. We lived in a rhythm of constant change, adding excitement to our days.
Indeed, a lot happened. A year ago, AI was entirely different. Now, we converse with AI like with humans, and it's become normal in no time.
Besides, we got the highlight, reasoning models. Test time compute will definitely change how large language models operate.
It's a prelude to AI conducting scientific research. AI has already brought significant advancements in science.
It was a year of true progress. What will the next one bring?
We've predicted that. Just watch our earlier video where we summarize trends and predict the next 12 months.
I'm curious how accurate we'll be when we revisit the video next year.
I am too, and if you want to see a future recap, subscribe to our channel and give us a like.
If you can, please share your most important event of the year in the comments. I'm curious whether you agree with us or not.
That's a great idea.
May AI always be helpful to you, never a threat. See you next time.